Welcome to the Narrow Way Family Ministry, 3 Minutes of Knowledge. My name is Johnny Braden, and today I'll be teaching on being perfect. If you know by now, or you should know by now, that I teach on being perfect, and I do this because Jesus said it. He said it in Matthew 5:48, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as my Father in heaven is perfect." So He said it, I believe it, and I teach it. And I believe that you need this knowledge because if you plan to be saved, then you need to know what you need to do to be saved, and you need to be born again. And born again is meaning that you need to be perfect. You need to stop sinning. Period is what you're saying. And the Bible says in Hosea 4:6 that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So I don't want you to be destroyed. I want you to have this knowledge. Now, if you don't do it, then your blood will be on your head. But I do want you to have this knowledge. Today I'm going to be coming from Exodus 25. Here in Exodus, the 20th chapter and the 5th verse, God is saying that He's a jealous God, meaning that He doesn't want us to put no other gods before Him. He doesn't want us to cheat on Him whatsoever, is what He's saying. He's a jealous God. And I'm going to read this, and I ask you to read it at home. Exodus 25 says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them." He's talking about any other gods and so forth. And anything could be your god. I mean, that could be your house, your car, a person, or anything. He doesn't want us to put anything before Him. Is what He's saying. He's a jealous God. He says, "Nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God." And it goes on to say other things. But my point here is that He's a jealous God, and He doesn't want us to sin on Him whatsoever. Uh, I always tell people that we can relate this to our spouses. If our spouse cheat on us just one day out of the year, now we have 365 days in the year, and if our spouse should cheat on us one day out of the year, and you still have 364 days that they were true to you, would this be okay with you? And most people would probably say no, because we want our spouses to be perfect with us. We don't want them to cheat on us not one day out of the year. So if our spouses if they don't want this, then surely God doesn't want this. And we have to consider that when we think about God. We want our houses to be perfect. We work so hard to keep them clean and so forth. Our cars, we just wash and polish them so much trying to make them perfect. Our clothes, we iron them and starch them and all this trying to make them perfect. But when it comes to God, then we want to slack off. And my message to you today is that if you want to make all these things perfect, then surely you should be perfect toward God. And if you don't want your spouse to cheat on you, then surely God doesn't want us to cheat on Him either. But now God is a forgiving God. God is not like us. Sometimes we might get carried away if our spouses cheat on us. But God is a forgiving God. If you cheat on Him, He's faithful to forgive you. I mean, he'll wipe your slate clean just like you hadn't done it. If you read the story of Hosea, then you can see how he did. I mean, how Gomer cheated on Hosea and so forth, and God forgave her. That was an example for how forgiving He is. So my point here is that even though we all have sinned, God is faithful to forgive us. And if we don't sin anymore, then we'll be on that perfect path, and we'll be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. So even though that we all have sinned, then I want you to keep in mind that all we have to do is go and repent and ask God to forgive us and ask us in His Son Jesus' name, and He'll forgive us and put us back on that perfect path. But now we have to keep in mind we can't keep sinning and asking God to forgive us, because He'll give us a reprobated mind, and that way we won't even know right from wrong. So we'll just be out there then. All right, that's going to end my message for today. But before I go, I would like to say a word of prayer. Today, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for what you've done here. And I just hope and pray that everyone under the sound of my voice was blessed by your words today. These blessings I ask in thy Son, Jesus' name. Amen.